everybody, welcome back to 539 Productions. Good to be back. It's been a while. The weather has been absolutely crazy, and of course I've been planning in the background for the big trip down to Alabama. And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be heading down to Alabama in about a week to meet up with the guys from Urban Ghost Urban Exploration and do a bunch of collaboration down there, including one very special location that is actually brought to you by one of you guys out there. So make sure you check out the Urban Ghost Urban Exploration channel. And today we are actually going to go and check out a hidden graveyard behind this public park. It's way back in the back section of the park, kind of hidden behind some trees, and I thought it'd be a really interesting location to check out before we head down south. Now we're getting really close. It should be just around the bend here. You can see it's still pretty cold out. It's in the 30s today, but it was up into the 50s, and so a lot of the snow has melted, thankfully. So we should get a pretty good view instead of just a bunch of snow-covered ground with no real indication of what we were looking at. So here's hoping for the best. Here's the path leading to it right now. Surprisingly cleared. Looks like it's kind of well taken care of, maybe. We'll see here. Whoa, it's not very big, but it's really cool, and the location is just absolutely epic. There's still a few people leaving flowers behind, it looks like, but look how incredible this is. Just sort of in the middle of the wilderness here at the back of this park, a really unassuming place that most people probably don't even know exists, and probably even a lot of people that live here in this town don't know this place exists. Alright, let's go ahead and enter in here and get a little bit closer look at some of these. There's a decent amount of damage. Looks like a lot of people with the last name Wilson. See the damage done here to the edge of this stone. It kind of looks like somebody beat it with something until it chipped away. Right next to it, this one here actually looks in really good condition. Although from the look of the base here, I'm guessing it's been propped up on a new base. And the stone right next to it has been completely lost, except for the base stone. Here's another one here, and I'm guessing over in this direction there was a grave here. You can see a lot of indentation in the ground, and it looks like there was some erosion at one point. And there's also this really tiny chunk of stone right here that I believe was either the base stone or possibly even part of the headstone itself. But usually in cases like this, when you see these large indentations, it means that the casket is worn away and the ground is sunken down in. So there's an inscription on this one here of the Tree of Life, and the inscriptions survive pretty well. Some of the words are really hard to read, but other than that, not too bad, although there's clearly a bottom section that's missing. And then over here there's a flag, but it's not really attached to any apparent grave. And it could be indicating that there's some veterans here that have unmarked graves, and so they're leaving the flags behind for them. And here's another Wilson grave, like Amy A. Wilson. And a lot more space back here than, again, what seems necessary, making me think that there's a lot of unmarked graves here. And you can clearly see right up here that a lot of pieces have been laid up against this really large headstone here, and probably were gravestones from graves scattered throughout this area. And over here we can see the remains of a very, very large stump. Could possibly be several different stumps that grew together, but somebody has cut it down and sort of burned it out so it wouldn't come back. And then this last very, very large stone here is the grave of Mary Wilson. And perhaps if we go and look around on the other side, it might be the grave of her husband as well, and they might have been buried together. It looks like there's definitely a name on here. Yeah, and again, definitely looks like some damage has been done. Somebody has hit it with something. There's some very, very clear impact damage up there that I would guess is a baseball bat or like a golf club or something like that. So you can tell that he was actually a general. That is one of the pieces of writing that is still very clear. And then down here on the ground is a U.S. Veterans marker here. However, there is an updated one on the other side, so it does look like someone has been out here and replacing things. So we'll put it right there anyways, but it does appear that somebody had noticed it and went ahead and replaced it with a brand new one. So wow, what an interesting place. The fence may be new, and it definitely appears that there are some unmarked graves, and a lot of the chunks and pieces have been placed up against that very large stone. And also sadly looks like, as I was saying, some really heavy impact damage has been done either with a baseball bat or a golf club or something. It doesn't appear to be gunshot damage. It appears to be some sort of blunt force damage that's been done, but only to a few that it seems anyway. Some of them might have been so far gone that, again, they cleaned them up as best as they could and placed them over against the large stone over there. So this is the back gate here. I wanted to kind of go around the area real quick and see if there's anything else that's hidden around in the brush, any pieces of perhaps the original fencing or any other historical items. But let me know too what you guys think of the footage. This is the first ever footage that we've put on the Canon M50, the brand new camera, and I'm going to be taking this with me down to Alabama and getting tons and tons of amazing locations down there. Oh, and look here, this definitely is something here. Has the same look of a gravestone and definitely appears to have some worn out engraving. It could be a base stone, but I actually don't think it is. I think it's a headstone that's fallen down and begun to get buried. So there is one out of the borders. But again, it appears that the fence is pretty new. It's a very large stone over here that appears to be like a large decorative boulder, which, I mean, obviously they have to come from somewhere, so it is possible that it's just here naturally, but it kind of looks out of place. And there's several different reasons why it could be here. One, it could be decoration for the old graveyard, and two, it could be a Native American marker. And sometimes graveyards were located near Native American burial grounds, and they a lot of times would use large stones as sort of signage to let everybody know where meeting places were and different things like that. I'm not seeing any other graves. I am, however, seeing a decent amount of beer cans and whatnot just chilling in the branches of this tree here. I think we've discovered a little bit of a hidden party spot. In fact, if you look over there, that's somebody's chair that's been hidden here, and all kinds of beer cans are up in the trees. Well, that's not really of much interest to me, so let's go ahead and head on back here. I'm not seeing any other debris that appears that it came from the graveyard, so I'm gonna complete this little 360 we did here, and if I don't see anything else that pops out, we'll go ahead and call it here for the day. Alright everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of 539 Productions. Make sure that you follow along on the journey down to Alabama, and if you've never hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit subscribe and give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, make sure you check out the Urban Ghost Urban Exploration channel so you know exactly what to expect when we get down to Alabama. And again, I will be updating everybody across my different social media accounts, including Twitter at www.twitter.com/MattIsaac. I also will be posting still photos on the road on my Instagram account, which can be found over at 539 Productions as well. And as always, make sure you have that notification bell on so you don't miss a single upload here on the 539 Productions channel, and I'll see you all in the next adventure.